Welcome to So Live, and today we are going deep on the topic of accelerating the timeline where you hold with grace, artistry, and the full domain, a global mission brand. I'm your host, Marga. Welcome to the movement. You may be watching this on YouTube. You may be watching this on our Facebook group. If you're here live with us, let us know in the comments, say hi, and why a mission brand. Let's just dive right in, because today I'm bringing it all for you. And I'm going to have my comments here too, for those of you who are on Facebook, to see you as well. Hi, beautiful Laura. So good to have you here. You are not here to build a boring coaching business. And that is the truth. That is the fact. There are two ways of doing this. To play this game of turning your soul gifts into abundance and into fulfillment within the context of a mission business. And this is coming from years of experience of supporting visionary leaders in the wellness industry, in the personal growth industry, in the personal evolution industry. When people focus on, there are those who focus on what we could call more like a pirate business. And so what does a pirate business look like, or a pirate business model? It looks like you create something, you launch that something, you sprint towards a goal. After the fact, there's usually burnout, or there's usually like deep in the energy. And there's also ghosting your audience. So you show up when you need to sell something, and then when you don't, you disappear. And this is, and then all you need to do is rinse and repeat. Launches are great, don't get me wrong. Launches allow for income spikes. And so receiving more money in a short period of time. Amazing, amazing. But this goes so beyond. And so I'm gonna invite to, as a collective, that if you have been in the mindset of, I'm building my business, I'm building my coaching business, to put that on the side and hear me out for a moment. I said at the beginning of this live that there are two ways of doing this thing, of playing this game. So we talk about the pirate business model way, and then we talk about the mission brand way. What is a brand? A brand is what people perceive internally when they think about you and they think about what you have created. So when you think about the mission queen, what is the thing that comes up to your mind? When you think about mission soul, the community, the lives, the membership, what does it come into your mind? What comes to your mind? How do you feel? What's the energy behind? What are we here to entertain? What are we here not to entertain any longer? What is this energy that is taking us all into a higher timeline of service and mission? Building a mission brand. And mission brand also means that you take more ownership and you start playing this game with more intentionality. You take ownership in understanding that you are the one who is in charge of what people perceive when they think about your brand. You're the one that's in charge. If you appear and then disappear, if you lead with a beautiful, gorgeous, lightful, light-coded heart of service, if you present community events, the graphics, the energy, You are in charge. So drop a yes in the chat if this makes sense, if this is landing for you, that a brand is the perception that people have of you, and also that you are in charge. And so with the intentionality that we put on each and every part of your world, you give shape to this creation. You give shape to this perception. It is something subjective. It is so beautiful. It is something subjective. A brand, in essence, is something subjective because it talks about a perception that someone else has in their mind. But at the same time, it's something that cannot be achieved without the intentionality and without very intentional, very thought actions, physical actions. In my view, a mission brand, building a mission brand, building a brand, what it also means is that every place I interact as a human, every place I say yes to, show up, invest in, co-create with, I am living, I am showing aspects of myself. I am my brand. Before I build anything, before I post anything, this heart of service and this heart of mission are the brand. This courageous act of saying yes to, I'm going to overcome my fears. I'm going to show up. No matter the doubts, no matter the hesitancy, I'm going to invest when it doesn't make sense. That is the brand. What moves me towards that is the actual brand, because the mission is so much bigger. And at this stage of the game, you need to understand, and we understand inside mission, the Mission Queen movement, inside the Mission Soul movement, that none of this is about us, but about that we let happen through us, that we channel through us as a path of service and building the new earth. So first you are your brand, but then you understand that every single place where you interact, you are being your brand. My goodness, every time that you have the opportunity to grab the microphone and talk, you talk. Or don't show up in spaces. I've said it if you're inside the membership, I always encourage you. Introduce yourself in the freaking group. Let people know who you are. Let people know what you're about. Even if you're here in this community for free or you're watching this on YouTube, take this as a skill for your life. What are you about? Your mission being. So you want to shine, let that aspect of you shine across the board. When I say yes to a challenge, right now I'm in a 30-day challenge for movement. It's a dance challenge. So every single day there is a dance, like a song and a prompt, and it is to boost the energy. And I'm inside of a community with like 70 women. Like none of them are like light workers or any of this, not that I know. But I'm there, I'm engaging, this is me, I'm Marga, I'm replying to comments. Like if I say yes to participate in a space, you bet that I'm gonna shine. Why? Because the energy is contagious. Because people then can perceive, oh, this is what she's about. She's about helping others with their creativity. She's about helping others with movement. She's about helping other women to shine with their skin glow, with heal the subconscious patterns. So take that as a life skill. And so every space that you participate is also being your brand, is also building your brand. And in my view, on top of that, yes, it's like living, it's like a piece of my soul is inside of this Facebook group. A piece of my soul is inside of this life. Can you feel it? A piece of my soul is inside my stories, is inside my Instagram. This is what building a brand is about. It's about leaving pieces of your soul spread out in something that you create. And the reason why you want to focus on building mission brand is because mission brand compound. Mission brand movements compound over time. When, I don't know about you, but when I find someone who activates my soul, I go and watch as many things as I possibly can about them or from them. I go and watch their lives. I go and read their content. I go to their YouTube to see what they have on YouTube. Because there is an energy, there is something there. There is a consistency. There is a consistency in the flavor. There is a consistency in the energy that I get. If you're here live with us, let us know. Let's say hi. Say hi. Let us know who you are. Yes. Hi, Patri. Ooh, so good to have you here, sister. I was just thinking about you. I just saw your post on Instagram. So this is the thing. And so if you are very consistent, it's not about who is listening to you right now. You show up before people find you. And when they do, when the right person finds you, you bet that they are going to, if you have put the intentionality around building a brand, they are going to go and devour everything that you have put out. And this is why someone can go from cold to hot and buy from you in a day. It's build it and they will come. Is show up for them even before they get to you. Show up for them before they come into your world. The other very subconscious factor about this psychological factor, because the reason why I love this shit is because marketing and all of this is just psychology, it's just relationships, it's called humans common sense. And so the other psychological aspect is that behind this is that if you showed up for people before they found you, if you showed up before there was evidence in the big community and you were there showing up for your people, when they land into your world, that screams trust. That exudes trust. They trust you more. And in order for people to invest their divine money with us, one of the biggest things that we need is trust. And that's what we want to build inside of what we do, inside of the way we show up in the world. If I see people posting about how they are here to create a new world and this and that, and then they are such a negative Nelly, they post negative shit on their personal account, you know what? My trust goes down. Yes, I said it. I went there. Because it's like, okay, so you're here to create a new world, but you are entertaining loser mentality. You're talking to losers. One of the biggest things for me that I learned this year has been massive growth. One of the biggest shifts I made is I stopped talking to losers. There are people and losers. What do I mean by that? I stopped talking to people who say that they are here to do big things, but then they're inconsistent. Then they don't really mean it. They don't want to take action. They are not taking care of their bodies. They are not taking care of their finances. They are entertaining magical thinking. I was even because I started receiving people like that in my world, and this is why you need to curate your digital world. You need to curate your digital world. If you have people, man, I'm not telling you to close down the doors of your life to people. That's not what I'm saying. Don't get me wrong. I believe in unity. I believe in we are all ascending, whether we know it or not. That's what I truly believe. But if you're constantly seeing in your social media negative Nellies and these friends who have been in the exact same place for years, and they're really not going to change because that's not truly what they want. I hide those people. They can see my stuff, but I don't see their stuff. And if I find them in real life, oh my God, it's so awesome. Doesn't mean that I'm less human, but I do know that I want to be surrounded by people like you, people who are studying, are preparing like their most beautiful body of work, are totally invested in doing something amazing. They have a huge heart of service, of mission. So I'm going to talk about 5 areas that you want to master in order to accelerate the timeline where you hold with Artistry and Full Domain a global mission brand, which is what I have. I am Costa Rican and my brand has people in Costa Rica, which makes my heart goes like that. But I didn't develop a brand for my specific country. I have people all over the world, 4 continents, and I'm just looking forward to bring people from all the other continents. So we built a huge grid of people who are soaked in this energy. So if you're loving what I'm putting down, if you're loving listening to this, put a heart in the comments, say loving it in the comments, whether you're here live, whether you're catching the replay, all right, let me know that you are present, that you are alive here with me, that you understand that this is your life we're talking about. You only have one, as much as you're existing across the time, space, and the multiverse. If you don't fulfill this, if you have a fire in your womb, and if you don't let this fire ablaze, you're gonna keep coming back and coming back and coming back to trying to do this. And I'm telling you, you don't need to come back to experience what it's like to make a shit ton of money and travel to see all your friends around the world, live whatever you want to live, eat the best food. The world already changed. Wealth is being distributed like never before. So why not you? Okay, so this is what we're talking about. Freedom, wealth, joy. All right? Okay. The first area that you want to focus on is creating the quantum architecture of your soul mission. You have a soul, and whatever you create with a soul has a soul. And so if you understand and it deeply lands that what you create with your heart and your soul has a soul, then you will understand and it will come to your awareness, will drop in your awareness that that creation is alive and it has its own consciousness. Plenty of you are used to, at this stage, co-creating with your intuition, with your gut, with your heart nudges, with your higher self, with your soul. And the next frontier for you is to unlock this level of co-creation with your mission brand as a living consciousness, as a living fifth dimensional expression of your mission on earth. This is the codex that we're going to be going deep inside the Mission Brand Mystery School, which you can join for 3 months, you can join for 4 months to learn about multidimensional marketing, or you can join for the 9 months. You know that you're a multidimensional being, and you want to activate and create with someone that masters these codes, like myself, or maybe someone else. The quantum architecture, the living energetic quantum architecture of your mission. Because then, my love, all I can tell you is that the universe, the Milky Way is not even the limit. The Milky Way is not even the limit. You can start co-creating with other galaxies. I went there. So In the past, for example, I used to have like, in average, the people that come to my work, hi, I see more of you coming live. Woo, woo, woo. Guys, I'm dropping it all. So now we're going into the 5 things that we need to activate in order to accelerate the timeline where you hold a thriving global mission brand. And I was just saying that in average, the person that comes to me for private mentorship or private services, in the past I used to do more of this, had invested at least $30,000 to $40,000 in mentorship, business mentorship, and websites and brand related things. This is not counting any training or certification to acquire their skills, just in business related stuff, at least $40,000, at least 30, 35, $40,000 by the time they came into my world. And the number one thing that I found, and across the board, is that there are foundational hesitancies. Hesitancy around foundational stuff. And there is a constant north that's missing. It's like they can launch, they can bring a lot of money, they built their platform, they have people in their email list, blah blah blah, but the energy is not there. Why? Because they didn't build their brand properly. They didn't sit down to do this properly, this work properly, and also because they didn't activate the consciousness co-creation and the conscious co-creation with their soul mission. And so as a result, they don't know what to launch. They are in victim mindset. Oh, my community. Oh, Instagram changed the algorithm. Oh, and they are, and because the mission frequency, it's like, it's not as amplified as it needs to be. It's more like this. It's more like smaller. They are still super plugged in without knowing. Obviously, this is what we do privately. This is what we're going to do during those 9 months or 3 or 4 months that you join the mastermind. The master tribe. It's a master tribe experience. They are still plugged into validation, status, like plugins from the 3D matrix. Someone said today inside the Mission Brand Momentum Era Minimind chat that you still have 1 month with me inside that chat. Someone said, I was guided to build the quantum architecture of my brand. And every time I wanted to go and take physical action, my soul was like, no. Come here. You need to do this. And so I surrender, she said. And my soul said, this is the shortcut. This is the shortcut. The fuck I tell you, she's so right. That is the shortcut. Because I want to work with someone who has the vibes. I want to work with someone that I'm constantly thinking, what did she smoke? I want to smoke the same thing. What is she high on? Do you know what she's high on? She's high on mission. Give me a yes if you understand what I'm saying. If you want to be around people who are high on their mission, who are so embodied, who is like, man, they're going places. I want to go with them. This type of thing, you build it when you're so clear, crystal clear on what is the word that is being created as a result of you saying yes to doing this. 200 years from now, you fucking go from this planet. Maybe you're already back on another incarnation, but this current incarnation, it's like gone. What shifted? What shifted as a result of showing up live on Mondays? What shifted as a result of building, nurturing relationships with humans all over the planet, serving. What shifted as a result of this mission brand? And the more you see it, it's like, whoa, oh my God, this is so big. This requires me to be a certain person. I better be that person because I want to see the world changing that way. I fucking do. Do you feel what I'm putting down? I want to see the comments. Loving it, global, going global, baby. Yes, Mike says, boom, boom, boom. Rubia, I love you. What are you doing still in Brazil, baby? Come to Mexico. I promise we have tacos here. That's very yummy, vegetarian tacos. So you're so welcome to come. Rubia is in this side of the hemisphere. The second thing that you want to, the second area, overcoming doubts and fears. Second area that you want to focus on to hold global brand with artistry and full domain. But here's the thing that you need to understand. Doubts don't come from nowhere. Doubts come from somewhere. And so, for example, when you say, I'm going to do this thing, I'm going to show up for my body, I'm going to cultivate community, I'm going to go on a dating app, I'm going to be more present with my daughters, I'm going to spend an afternoon with people I love, and then you don't do it. And then you don't do it. And then you just don't show up. This frequency carries out to other areas of your life. So you really want to tune in. Where am I not? Where am I not taking, where am I a flake? Where am I not doing the thing that I said that I'm going to do for myself? Because I tell you one thing, if you're with a man or a woman or a person, a human that you love in a relationship, and this person tells you, yeah, I'm going to your house. Yes, I'm going to be there in 30 minutes. And they show up 3 hours later. And then another day they tell you, baby, I love you. And then you found them cheating with your sister. Every time that trust gets broken, it's like, it's so difficult to believe. And so where within your full life, you doubt is present. You really don't believe that things can happen because you break your own word. You're not being your word. More often than not, doubts come from you thinking that you may not be able to do it. And you may be right, but this information is coming from something that can be fixed. And so when you close those bridges, when you close those gaps within yourself, you become more solid. Your energy stops leaking with self-doubt and shame and guilt. No, right? That is what we need. And in order to overcome the fears, the antidote is action. I have my microphone here. Action. Action is the antidote. Action is the antidote. All right? In action, you will meet how awesome you are. How much more than what you thought it was possible to do, you can do, or be, or have. The third area is building the muscle of self-trust. When I say it's a muscle, I mean it with all my heart. It's a muscle. And so how do you build the muscle of self-trust? Number one, you keep the word to yourself. If you say, I'm not going to push myself, I need to rest, I need to prioritize my body, then do that. All right? Do that, right? That's what you do. What you're going to say that you're going to do, you do it. if you believe that okay, the muscle of self-trust is also like closely related with action, all right? So actions compound. And at the beginning, like building a global brand, it's like you do a lot of things that don't make sense. You're talking to people that don't exist yet. they are like, you're talking to people in parts of the world. You're talking to people that's not currently there in your platform. It doesn't make sense, but here's a catch. Yeah, I already said, you do it for them. Because when they find you and they realize that you have been talking to them all this time, then they can trust you. Because you are showing up for them, because before they showed up in your life, or before they showed up for you. All right? But at the beginning, here's the catch. At the beginning, showing up for them is actually showing up for you. If you want to build something sustainable, is for me, for you, for us. For me, for you, so there can be an us. Because if I only show up for my people, the fuck is that? Saving, rescuing, being the hero, that is not sustainable, because that is not freedom. That is not freedom. And so at the beginning, you show up for your community every week, even if no one shows up. One of my mentors, the first time that she ran a webinar, she only had one person showing up, and that person was her mother. And she gave it all. She absolutely gave it all. She was like, well, there is one person. She knew other people would show up. She knew that it wasn't just so much about, how much people are there, but about becoming better at presenting, becoming better at showing up, becoming better at promoting your webinars. This is what it's about. And this year, after, I think, 3 years of being in business, she made her first $1 million cash. But what would happen if someone like her, if someone like me, if someone like you, it says, oh my God, no one is listening to my stuff. This is not working. I think I should quit. We know you're not going to quit. Let's get real. I know you're not going to quit. So let's clean up the energy and understand what I'm putting down here is that at the beginning, this muscle of self-trust is about you. Babe, there is just so much action. People underestimate the amount of action that takes to build a global brand. And so at the beginning, it's all about uploading this new identity. I'm going to tell you a few of the things that I have going on in my life. I have 2 daughters who are teenagers. So on a regular day, they will come here to my house crying because something is really triggering and present for them in their emotional world. And I let what I'm doing and I hug them and I listen to them. Sometimes they go for hours. So I try to speed the conversation a little bit. I am that person, but I am present for them. So I'm raising 2 daughters, being an emotionally present parent. I have a partner and he's 100% a high value man, which means that he's a high, ¿cómo lo dicen? High maintenance. If he was listening to this, he would be like, but he would know that it's true. What do I mean by that? He's not the guy that I'm gonna tell, I'm sorry, babe, I cannot hang out with you 7 days out of this week because I need to be creating content for my business. Oh my God, he would be out the door in a second and no more relationship because he values himself. So I need to be, I choose to be a present girlfriend, right? And a present lover for him. I have one mission business, which is operations. I run the full operations of a 7-figure earner in this personal evolution industry, and I choose to only have one client in that business, and it works really good for me and for her. And I also have Mission Soul, and I just started a third venture that I'm going to be talking to you more about very soon. Okay. So what I'm saying here is that, you know, like becoming this version of me that can, and I used to think that I had ADHD. I used to think that I couldn't trust myself. I used to believe that I was really hesitant on thinking that I could do it. I had to do a lot of praying. I did a lot of multidimensional jujus. I work with people like Rubia, who is here on this live, with Sandrine, with Gabi Kowalski. I work with advanced quantum healers to really, and with quantum technologies as well, putting myself in quantum technologies at night to really upload a new identity, really upload the codes of I am, you know, I can do this. I can hold a lot in my grid, you know, and it feels it's spacious, right? And so you can do it, but it's going to take to constantly show up so that your nervous system and your body and your time grid get used to, you know, these are the things that we do daily, right? Monday mornings, I used to do Mission Soul Live at some other point in the afternoon, and then I was doing it on Tuesday, and then I was doing it on Thursday, and I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna do it Monday morning. And then I know that, you know, after I go live for my community, I already did it. I already fulfilled this gorgeous mission that I love, which is creating bonds with you and coming up and open up my own world and give you tools and all that stuff, right? And then I know that I'm good for the week, right? That I did the thing that I said that I was going to do. So there is a process of refinement. That's what I'm saying here. You know, like at the beginning, you do and you fall, and you do and you fall. And here's a distinction. You're not trying, you're doing. It's just that at the beginning, it takes to break the identity of who you were. So I never want to hear you fucking saying, I'm trying. Seriously? We don't try. And if you're trying, quit. Because it's either you do. And like I never try anything. I do. So if you are doing something and falling, then say, like, well, it didn't go as planned, but you're definitely not trying. I know your soul. I know your heart, right? So you are not trying, you're doing. It's just at the beginning, it takes something. This is why it's a muscle that you build. Rubia says, and I work with you and you help me, my mission is go to the absolute next level. Love you so much. I'm going to do this for you. That's a lot of kisses. Yay! Laura is putting a heart. Yes, my love. Yes. All right. So it is a muscle. Hold the energy through your own embodiment. I don't even need to go deep on this. Just like, who are you being when no one is watching? And I'm gonna say this. Who are you being when no one is watching for a mission soul looks so different. Because it does look a mindset part, like, you know, like you understand that you're here for the long run. You don't self-doubt. You co-create with your mission. You don't expect external validation. You let go of needing of validation, like those things. You believe in yourself no matter what. You love in yourself no matter what. But when this is why this is a community, and this is why I also invest a lot in my own personal evolution and ascension. I don't just invest with business mentors, and not at all. Like I do, but not as much as I do in my personal evolution. So when you said yes, so some of you said yes to holding a big grid of service or a new very specific grid. And so sometimes what this looks like is like there is a lot of journeys of upgrading that your soul takes you on. And so sometimes just being your brand for example, for me, like I've gone through really hard shit this year. My ex tried to take away my kids right at the beginning of the year. I also like my finances weren't clear, and there wasn't full like transparency inside of my relationships. This is deep wounding. This is like, you need to get really courageous to talk these things to your partner, because some people could leave you. That's the truth, and break the relationship. Like there were so many areas to have to deal with and clean up. And so you're doing deep grit work. And so holding the energy through your own embodiment, it doesn't always mean that you are, all the mindset game and all this stuff. It means that, those things that you go through that don't feel comfortable, but that you absolutely understand that the only way out is through doing it with love and understanding, and that is part of the mission. And having a heart of love for yourself and the situation, and understanding that there is such a global and massive impact because of what you're doing, because of what you're suffering, because of what you're processing. That also is holding the energy through your own embodiment. So if you've been on one of those journeys, I commend you. I tell you, this shit doesn't happen in linear time. This mission brand growth global movement happens in quantum time. And the things that you have said yes to go through, or your soul said yes to, are spitting you on another timeline, are spitting you out on another timeline that is going to be even more delicious than what you ever thought. And you just need to hold this vision and this timeline with this vision with faith. It's happening. It's happening. It's happening. This is your soul destiny. And sometimes soul destinies for multidimensional souls can look chaotic from the outside, not linear. They are not. But the person that you become after that is the person that can hold the vision that is waiting for you, period. All right? So the last thing I want to say is master the last two areas, master the simple strategies that scale. So I shared a full training on, and you're inside the membership, this is what we work on deeply. But I shared a training recently inside of this group. It was Mission Soul Life from last week, or is also in the YouTube playlist, where you're going to find this in the Mission Soul Life playlist. Master the mission brand growth formula, because they are simple actions that support your launches, that support people coming to you and working with you without you needing to do a lot of extra stuff. It's like, those are the basics. So showing up for your tribe, showing up for your clients, cultivating a community, and invite people onto the pathways of transformation. Come and work with me in this offering. If you're going through this, I hear you. I have this offering. This is how I can support you. Send me a DM. It's so easy. It gets to be so easy. The last part, I'm going to recap. The first area was creating the quantum architecture of your soul mission. The second area to focus on, overcoming doubts and fears. Third area, building the muscle of self-trust. Fourth area, master the simple strategies that scale. And the fifth one is invest, refine, and let yourself be mentored. I get that, inside of the 3D matrix, marketing matrix, of course, like one of the things that, like, people will push you and trying to shame you. I've never shaming a human who says, no, actually, I don't want to resign. No, actually, I don't want to join the membership. No, actually, I don't want to join this program now. I've never, ever try to push them or shame them. Unless, but the only occasion I can push someone to invest is when I know, but like I know that if we were to be sitting down in sessions, magic would unleash in the world. And I know it is like the way they are showing up. It's just the little tweaks that are missing and they are going to blow up. And if I love this person, I'm going to come up with this energy and tell them, like, come with this message, but it's not going to come from pushing them. And definitely, I have never shamed someone from not wanting to invest. So I get that people do this in the 3D matrix of sales and marketing. And this is not what I'm talking about. This is definitely not the energy and the vibe. What I am saying, though, here is that there is a reason why you're a mentor, is because you have embodied and mastered, and just like your presence, just like to have you as an angel on the side of someone who is ready to receive from you, makes the whole difference in the planet, right? You get what I'm saying? You have mastered something so beautifully that if someone who is ready was to hire you, then just like magic would happen. And so you want to acknowledge that there are areas where you're not supposed to know it all, and you want to have people on your side. I feel that I now have like 4 mentors in my corner. One for my multidimensional explorations and dream, which I'm working privately with her. One to embody the true codexes that I need to serve you guys better as multidimensional souls ascending that are building global missions, and that is Gabi Kowalski. So I'm inside her New Earth Mission Collective. Another one that I learned from inside of a membership. I used to work privately with her. I uploaded so many codes that have allowed me to serve you guys even better and also infuse you with this take action, which is Bridget James Link. And so like I learned from her now, and on a membership, you don't need to spend crazy money to have a mentor. And also you could even like, and you can learn a lot, like you receiving Mission Soul Live, you have me as your mentor. I can assure you of that. Like if you resonate with this, if you come intentional with this, that's a level of mentorship. Okay. So yes. But for example, I do it with Bridge now. Before I spent like 16K with her. Now it's just like $100 every 6 months. But I receive inside her membership a lot. So it's constantly choosing to learn from one person, or open up your field to say, yes, I allow these codes into my field because they serve me and uplift me. That is mentorship. And the 4th mentor is Pearl. He's a good friend from Canada. And she's someone that is going to be supporting me. I just signed up into her membership with prioritizing dance, fun, eating well, and my energy in order to go places. Like I believe that I'm letting go, that I'm like just finally unplugging myself from, and this is pushed me to the edges because I moved from survival for so many years. I believe that I'm letting go is that being in front of the computer and doing this type of, like being in front of the computer and working on my business, it's how things happen. And subscribe to the, it's just how things happen. This is just how things happen by doing blah, blah, blah. And I'm subscribing to the belief that when I prioritize my energy and I am juicy and enjoying life, but seriously, and eating well and looking after this human, and I prioritize dance and movement and flexibility, like physical, I'm gonna make more money, actually, and I'm gonna be more magnetic, and I'm making my mission as well, because I am the mission and I deserve to feel really, really good. And I want to carry these codes into my community. Right? So that's what I'm doing. And so just be intentional, just, invest, refine what you're doing. For some of you, it's not about learning the moves, it's about refining the moves, and let yourself be mentored. I love you so much. I want to learn, for those of you who are still here, which are 4 of you, I love it. what has been your biggest takeaway? What has been your biggest takeaway from today? Let's anchor the teachings. Don't just be a consumer. Be someone that also anchors down, what are your learnings? What have you received? Be an action taker, implement shit. Love you, Marga, says Laura. Love you too, my love. And so cool, Laura. Like Laura is building a movement around dance and the quantum and creativity. And so, yes, like, it's like this is such a fluid field. I love the timelines where we are ascending into and stepping into as a collective. I love the amount of memberships that people are, not to mention that's a very scalable mode to serve a lot of people. That's the intention behind why I created the Mission Brand Playground membership, which, by the way, are you in? If you're not, what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? This is why I love that there are so many memberships, and it's like when you vibe with someone. This is a mission brand. This is what it means. It's like you can't get enough of that. You love their sweetness. You love their heart. You love the codes, the very advanced messages. Some of you share like, oh my God, beautiful shamanic codes and beautiful messages from your own soul. Beautiful techniques of healing, right? This is a service-based industry. The fuck, just remember that every day. I woke up today and I asked myself, how am I going to serve Laura? How am I going to serve Margarita? How am I going to serve Renata? How am I going to serve Dietrich? How am I going to serve? And I'm just thinking about your names. This is why you want to have a community. This is all about humans' relations. Positive approach and just keep going, says Laura. Amazing, love you. Love, look after yourself first and foremost. Yes. Take aligned action. Do what you say that you're going to do for yourself and others. Don't be afraid. Love that, Rubia. I'm so glad I have you to anchor me when I most need it. Best investment ever. Yay, love you, sister. Patricia, she goes for Asdromeda Agua Bella on Facebook. She's inside of our membership, and she holds like so beautiful codes for New Earth families. She's a midwife, so it's all about the portal, and also other portals, because she's part of a beautiful collective of support that is supporting people on the other portal, which is when people actually leave this physical incarnation. Her brand is in Spanish. You're welcome to connect with her. And yes, so if you're watching the replay, what was your biggest takeaway? See you next Monday. And if you are, just keep an eye actually on your inbox and around my stories and everything, because Christmas is coming early. This week, I'm releasing some beautiful offerings for my community in terms of one-on-one support. So sending you so much love, Mission Queen and Mission Kings. We're doing this. I love us so much. Have the best week ever. Bye-bye. See you next Monday.